Hey everybody, how are you guys? And welcome back to another episode with the CNY family. So glad you guys could make it. If you're new here and you like this type of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you click that notification bell so you're notified of any future videos we do. Okay, so you guys know I have been talking about the Karlie Guse case. Well, I was contacted by a family friend, and they reached out to me and they just wanted to convey what really happened and what was really going on, because they say that the media misconstrues a lot of things. Okay, so I'm going to read you those. I was told that I could share this information, but this person didn't want their name out there yet. And yeah, so we'll just go from here. So let me share this first email. All right. Hey girl, I commented on your YouTube video of Karlie. I got very close with this case and the family. I have a lot of info straight from the family and investigators. A lot of the story that is out to the public is misconstrued and just not true. So I don't even know where to begin. If you have questions to narrow it down, I can answer those for you. Long first part of the story short. So the night before Karlie went missing, I was with my husband, my stepson, and my daughter at the trunk or treat event. I had dressed my daughter up in this deer costume that I made myself, and she looked adorable. My husband and stepson were waiting in line for a little haunted house. My daughter was only 3, so we went on to the other booths. Excuse me. We came up to a booth, and this lady working at the booth with a big, beautiful smile saw my daughter and just lit up. She was very kind and bubbly type of personality, and she recognized my daughter from social media. She asked me if I was married to Michael, my husband. I said yes. And she said, "Oh my gosh, I love all the pictures y'all post of your daughter. She's so adorable," and went on with nice compliments. She told me that her name was Melissa Guse and that she was friends with my husband on Facebook because they had gone to high school together. My husband and her attended the high school there in Bishop. They weren't super close, but it's a very small town, and so they knew enough of each other. So our family lives 35 minutes from Bishop in a resort mountain town. But my husband grew up in Bishop, and we often go there to visit my mother-in-law and to pick up my stepson from his mother's home in Bishop. I was so happy to meet her and surprised of how kind she was. Bishop is a tight community and they all grew up together, and I've never been treated so nice by any woman that grew up there. It's not that they're all mean, but they're very much to themselves and don't let outsiders in very easy. It's night and day compared to the town we live in. But I never felt welcome there until I met Melissa. So we chatted, and my husband came to meet up, and so we all chatted some more. We had become Facebook friends later that evening. It was just one of those meetings where you instantly click and feel a sense of connection already. So it was very nice to meet someone so nice in a place that I never felt welcome. My husband gave me the download on the family and the dynamics of children and parents and all. So the next morning I woke up to Melissa's live on Facebook talking about Karlie being missing. And it tore at my heart. I couldn't believe what I was hearing and just wanted to help so badly. That weekend, we already had plans to travel to Disneyland for my daughter's 3rd birthday. So I thought I can pick up these flyers and spread them all the way down to Disney in LA. It's about a 5.5-hour drive. So she did. She posted some. She even posted some on her daughter's stroller. I was surprised at how many people knew already just from the Facebook Lives. The park even took a flyer and notified all the workers of Karlie's picture and missing info. Every girl I saw there, I was checking to see if it could be her. My mother was with us, and she's a retired LAPD officer and a private investigator. She had her Hawkeye out as well. It was getting dark at the park, and it was getting dark at the park, and we headed over to the dance music area so we could take a break while my daughter got to dance. My mom and I both saw a girl that made us give each other a look and do a double take. She was wearing clothing I had seen from pics of Karlie that she would wear. She had the long, light brown hair, the small body, skinny frame. We couldn't believe what we were seeing. I called my husband over to get his opinion, and he wasn't sure, but she looked like her. So we kept an eye on her while we tried our best to find clues that it could actually be her. She was even holding a phone like she was on a FaceTime call, but when I saw the screen, it was black. I'm like, Mom, she's talking to no one. Maybe it is her. Maybe she's still disoriented. And she acted strange and distraught. Then we noticed her go up to a younger girl and start dancing with her on the dance floor. Then we were able to see a man they looked to be with, and it didn't match up because of the way he looked compared to the way the girls looked. But we still couldn't decide if it was her or not. I pulled out my phone to get pics, and it was dead. So I had my mom take pics on her phone so she could send them to me later, and we could send them to Karlie's parents to see if it was actually her and to law enforcement. We finally got back to our hotel and got my phone charged enough to get the pics and send them out. It was pretty late at that point, and I know, what does that say? Oh, I knew they were still doing searches, even at night, of the area for Karlie. So I don't hear from anyone until the next morning. Melissa had got back to me before law enforcement, and as much as she looked like Karlie, sadly it wasn't her. It was heartbreaking. I even got in touch with Karlie's bio mom, Lindsay, who also gave me the same answer. And that's where my journey started with the relationship I built to the family, mom, stepmom, and dad, and even investigators. So long beginning of story, not so short, but I find it hard to tell without every detail. It's also important in these cases, and this case led me to others and the start of crime sleuthing. Oh man, and when Kylie's case came up and the town being very similar to my own and not far from us, well, as the crime story being very similar, I know you feel the same. It's too similar. Please send me any questions or ideas on where you want to go from here. Thank you. So then, of course, I did. I replied. So let me share this with you. And this is the next email I got from her. Hey, no problem. This case has my heart since day one. Firstly, I'm not sure that either parents would. Okay, so I had asked if either herself or Melissa or anybody would like to do any interviews to try to get their side of the story out there, to try to get Karlie's name back into everybody's focus. And this is what she said back. Firstly, I'm not sure that either parents would be okay with an interview. The heaviness around the whole case and the outsiders' opinions are a lot to deal with. Last I talked with them about doing podcasts or more interviews, they were pretty hesitant. Things just got messy real fast with people's opinions. And I don't know if I want to go on yet or not. I wouldn't want the family to think I'm painting them in a bad light or just anything they wouldn't be comfortable with. I don't mind at all you sharing any info I give you, but maybe just for now keep me anonymous, just a friend of the family. I don't mind you sharing that I met her at the trunk or treat or any info I give regarding Karlie and the family. Hope you understand. But yes, I did see her at the trunk or treat. Usually the local companies in the area have booths set up for the trunk or treat, and they hand out candy. So her work, which is, I believe, called Inyo Mano Title Company, they had a few of the employees out there handing out candy. So she was there that night. She seemed like a total normal, nice, just kind of person. Now, it's hard to find any stuff online about the events in Bishop. I know someone had said that they couldn't find it, but it's such a small town that a lot of the stuff is like on flyers, on business windows, and the community just knows, or the school will hand it out to the kids to bring home. But the trunk or treat usually is at the beginning of October. And it's more of a community thing where everyone can get together rather than a safety precaution for trick-or-treating. It was that evening, I want to say around 9 p.m., that Melissa had gone to pick up Karlie. She did stop at Taco Bell and grabbed her two boys and her husband food, and she also called Karlie before that and asked her if she would need a ride home. But that's when Karlie said that she would get a ride home with Donald, and obviously that was before she became paranoid. I'd say that the drive from Bishop to Chalfont is probably 20 minutes. Bishop is already a small town, and Chalfont is more of a small housing tract off of Highway 6. So while Melissa is at Taco Bell and driving home to Chalfont, that's when Karlie starts to really panic. The friend of the house, James, they had smoked weed at, dropped Karlie and Donald off at Donald's house to get her out of that situation at the friend's house because she was acting strange and crying off and on. So Donald thought he could get her to his house and help calm her down. Once at Donald's, she became very scared and paranoid of him. He tried to hold her. She ran off into the housing tract behind the Highland Park. As she's running, she's already calling Melissa to pick her up in a panic. Shit. Crap. As she's running already, calling Melissa to pick her up in a panic. You know what? There's so much info. It would be a whole lot easier to talk on the phone. I don't mind, and my daughter is at school till 3, so I can talk between now and then. Give me a call when you can. I think the amount of info involved is just so much detail that it's all vital to telling the truth and is easily misunderstood, and even for the most intelligent communicators, it can come out messy. You'll see it's a lot of small details that all matter. I believe that's why Melissa is so misunderstood. It's hard to convey a messy situation where a lot happens so quickly, let alone try to communicate what you need while running on no sleep and fear, and such a distressing, heartbreaking situation for the whole internet to see and scrutinize. Call me when you can. Thank you. Okay. So then I obviously replied. And then let me share with you this last one that I got from her. Just a little backstory to Lindsay, though. Lindsay lost her custody of both Kane and Karlie when I want to say Karlie was 3, and I believe Kane's like a couple years older than her. Melissa came into Karlie's life when she was 3, and she's been more of the main mother figure in her life. Now, Lindsay went on to have another kid with another man in Bishop, and she also does not have custody of that child either. She's had a history of drug problems, drinking, and just being in abusive relationships. And I'm not saying this to paint her out in any certain way. It's just to give you a heads up on maybe why she might be a little bitter towards Melissa. And that doesn't mean that Melissa hasn't had her issues or anything. I'm just saying Melissa's been there for that girl since she was a baby. I'm sorry for any misspellings or typos. I'm doing talk to text. Lindsay was notified that morning after they had gone out and searched for her and called the police. The police did come into the house that morning, so it's not like they didn't check anything out at all. They just weren't checking it for, I guess, a murder or anything, because there is no evidence of that. The only evidence was that Karlie had walked out the door. Lindsay did not show up hours later. Lindsay did show up hours later. She was very distraught, as you can imagine. She did tell me that when Zach told her, like, head first, called her and told her that Karlie was gone, she just had the mother instinct of she's gone, as in passed away. When Lindsay did show up to the house, she basically froze up. And I don't think anyone knows how they're going to handle this kind of situation until they're in it. But Lindsay was trying to, I guess, try to unfreeze herself, so to speak. And she took a bath, and she was in the bath at Melissa's house for a while. But she was frozen in place like a deer in headlights. She did not help in the search at all that day. I am not sure what happened after that, but the search was pretty intense. There was people out right away. They did like the body heat sensing jets. They had helicopters. They had dogs. They had people on horses. They had people on ATVs, dirt bikes, driving on foot, everything. And this went on for weeks. I'll give you more info when I get a chance. So, yeah. So I just wanted to share that information with you guys as I was told that I could. And I will be speaking with this family friend more tomorrow. And hopefully I'll have more to share with you guys, and hopefully we can get a better insight of, what took place and what really happened, because we do know that the media does misconstrue a lot here and there. All right. So let me hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. I love you guys. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe. Keep asking those hard questions. Keep spreading that light, and I will see you all next